Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Mark Love, and today I'm going to be showing you a used coach, and this is really a sweet coach. It's a 2021 Dutch Star 4020 floor plan, and I don't know how many of you remember, we've done them before, but I like the 4020. It's one of the models that has your dinette on the passenger side. So right there's your dinette window. You're looking out under your awning, and typically this is where your view is. This is where your table is. I kind of like these floor plans that sort of reverse the kitchen and the dinette. And there's some other real unique and special features on this one I'll point out as we get inside. But let's go ahead and get started. And I always like to point out what makes Newmar's a little bit different, why their slogan is when you know the difference. And we'll start right here. First of all, this does have three-way cameras. You can see your side view camera. Also equipped with collision mitigation and adaptive cruise control. We'll show you that a little bit on the inside. One of the things that I always point out, we've got dual fuel fills from each side of the coach, and they protect it here. That's a steel plate in there that's covering that rubber fuel line. If you should ever shred this front tire, it could tear that up very easily if it's not protected and do a lot of damage. So that's something you might want to check for when you're looking at other units. See if their fuel hose is protected or not. Let's move back to this first bay, and typically this is a bay where you might have a pull-out slide tray with a freezer. This unit is prepped for that freezer, but they just decided not to put it in as an option when they bought it. That can always be added. Of course, the great part of that is it gives you some nice extra storage right here. And if you look, you've got 12 volt, you got 110 right here. You're going to find that in most of your bays. If you open one of these compartment doors, the LED lights on all of them come on. That's a really nice feature. And then over here in our second bay, which is your largest, you can see there's a manual pull-out tray. And you can access that from either side. Right here's kind of a good spot to talk a little bit about Newmar Star Foundation. You can see one of the gussets right here. This is a welded steel superstructure that they put on the chassis. And these gussets come out, they support your sidewalls, and they also support your floor joists. Now you can't see it up there because it's covered, but you see the top of your rail, and your floor joist isn't sitting on it. It's up there 1.5 inches, 2 inches. What that does for you, it gives you a stronger platform, and it reduces any twisting that you might get as you go down the road. So you're not cracking your tiles or popping your grout or things like that. This compartment here is another about a half or 3/4 through. Oftentimes you see a slide tray in this. I like the fact that they've left it open. You can actually get more in here. And then you do have a central vac on the inside, but you can bring your hoses and everything outside and clean your compartment. So that's real convenient right there. And again, you can see the Star Foundation where it's welded down there to the bottom of the frame, and those gussets, they run the whole length of the coach. Another thing that makes Newmar different is how they build their sidewalls. These are on 16-inch centers, and they're aluminum C-channel with batting insulation tucked in. So the nice thing about the C-channel is you can get your insulation all the way in, and you don't end up with gaps in there. And it's built just like residential framing, 16-inch on center. It allows them to put electrical outlets, let's say, almost anywhere inside. The way they run their wires, it is not a vacuum bonded wall, so you can't get delaminations in it. Much better hung wall system here. And another thing you notice, no TV in this one on the outside. Not everybody has to have 4 TVs. This compartment, the water tank behind it, you do get a little pegboard. Often people use this for tools or to store oil and stuff like that. And if you were going to put in a TV, on some floor plans, this is where it goes rather than up in the sidewall. While we're right here, I'll point out the flush slide system with Newmar. As you can see, this corner tucks right in the sidewall, nice and neat. What that does, it prevents, say, wind from getting in around there, creating more noise. If you're driving in a rainstorm, water could be forced in there. With these flush slides, it's quieter, makes for a better ride inside, and it seals better. This happens to be a 40-foot coach, which means on a Newmar it has a tag axle. And as you can tell, the wheels are different. The rear is a steerable tag. Now, in 2021, I can't remember if they jumped up to 17% what it'll tilt, or it might still be at 14%. Regardless, this will tilt independently of the front drive axle. Anytime you're under 20 miles an hour or backing up in reverse, it really cuts down on your turning radius, and it helps prevent scrubbing on this tire. You can even dump the air on the tag axle. Doesn't lift it up, but it releases the pressure on it to make it easier to turn. Okay, this door right here happens to be an emergency door behind your toilet, and I'll show you that when we get inside. Over here we have our compartment for our DEF tank, and you can fill the DEF and the fuel from either side. This is our chassis batteries and our master disconnect for the chassis. Nothing too special about this compartment. As we move around back, in 2021, Newmar actually changed the caps on the Dutch Star. So it's got a great look here. Again, the 450, which is the 8.9 Cummins, it gives you a side radiator. And the beauty of that is it makes it easy to access the back of your engine. You can see your transmission dipstick and fuel, oil fills, water separator here, power steering fluid. Everything is easy to reach. This is your gauge. It tells you how clogged your air filter is getting. And if you're the kind of person that does that kind of work yourself, it's easy to get to. Now, a lot of the 8.9 liter engines, they might be a 400 horse or a 380, but probably a rear radiator. They don't cool as well, and it makes it harder to access all the components there. Underneath, we do have our 2-inch receiver rated at 15,000 pounds towing. You have your 7-way plug here, and you can see the previous owner must have pulled with an Air Force One. Right there's the hookup for it. And inside, I'll show you, this also has a Prodigy brake controller up in the dash. Okay, let's move around to the driver's side. Again, you see the larger side mount radiator. You get better airflow and better cooling with the side mount. And typically, as you spend more money and get bigger engines, you're going to find this. Locking compartment here. This is for the DEF on the other side where you would fill it. Got a little storage compartment here, a little cubby hole. Gloves or oil or things like that. I don't know if we're in a good spot to see our adjustment, but the Freightliner chassis, yeah, you can see the adjustment nut right up here. This has got the V-Ride assembly, and part of that nut back there, if you're out of line on your rear end, a mechanic, that's not something you do yourself, they can actually adjust that, where a lot of chassis have it welded, and you've got to break that weld or cut through it to adjust your rear axles. And another thing about the V-Ride, basically it's a U-shaped lateral bar that connects the transmission, the chassis, the tires. You've got your voluminous airbags underneath. And with the V-Ride, you don't get as much tipping like this as you go down the road. Sometimes I'm following a motorhome and they might take a corner pretty fast, and you can see a 15-degree tilt in that motorhome, and that makes for an exciting ride inside. With the V-Ride, with the Star Foundation, you have a stronger, more stable platform. It makes for a better ride. And again, when you know the difference, Newmar products are one of the best ones out there. Okay, let's move up to the water compartment here. Now, first thing I notice is you have a power hose for your city water supply. Whole house filter right here. You do have your valve if you want to autofill or manual fill your fresh tank. Black tank rinse right here. All of your drain outlets are easy to access, and they're in a heated compartment, which gives you better cold weather use. And then, of course, you have an outside shower. And this is basically kind of like a kitchen sprayer here. You can see in our winterization line, there's a little bit of antifreeze in there. That greenish or turquoise color is what we're using this year. We try to use a different color than most RV dealers so we can tell if we winterized it or not. But your low point valves, your bypass valves, everything's right here, conveniently located, a nice clean compartment. Newmar just does a great job with that. And you even have a place here if you want to put in some paper towels. Dutch Stars all have the power rewind cord, and when you have a 50 amp cord in the winter when it's hard, this can be tough to roll up. I've had the head come around and bang me before. Right here they put the switch on the outer door, makes it easy to put that away. You also have your surge protector there with your transfer switch. You have an input, maybe you've got a portable satellite or going to watch, the local cable at the RV park you're staying. You'd bring it in right there. Up here is our Oasis. Now this is our hydronic heating system. The other common one is AquaHot. Both of them are good systems, but a few things about the Oasis that maybe give them the nod. Number one, it's a quieter cleaner burning system. You don't get as many fumes. But one of the big differences is the elements. They all have a diesel, and the AquaHot has an electric, but your Oasis has 2 electric elements. So earlier today when I brought this coach over, I fired the generator up for a bit. I turned on the Oasis with both the diesel and the electric, and then once it was warm, I could turn the diesel burner off, just leave the electric on. It's not that cold today. I'll be able to keep up with electric alone. So you're not burning your diesel. You can use it in lower temperatures than the AquaHot because of the dual element.
Hey Mark, you got a question? Is it Daniel who said? Daniel would like to know what are the tire sizes?
Well, these are the 22.5s. On the back, we've got the 315s, and in fact I believe it's 315s throughout, but always the 22.5s on the diesel tires. As you get to the heavier chassis, the 54,000 pound, you'll have 365s up front. I believe these are still the 315s all the way around. Okay, let's move up here. Just talked about the Oasis. Here we've got the back side of our slide out tray. Again, you notice this strip of LED lights comes on in all of the compartments when you open any one of the compartments. And then up here, we've got our batteries. Now, typically, a standard unit would have 4 batteries. You would get an electric and propane refrigerator and a propane cook surface. If you get the residential refrigerator, they give you 2 more batteries, so this one has 6. But this one actually has a propane tank right here, and it's a big one. And it's got a propane cook surface in there. And I really like cooking over fire rather than the induction, so we'll talk about that a little more. But as you can see, 6 batteries. Tells me it's got the residential refrigerator, but not the induction cook surface. And here we have another fuel fill, and of course this one's protected by that steel plate also. And then in our last compartment, these are the fuses and circuits for your chassis, basically. This is the release for your front if you want to pull your generator out. And you notice they even give you some replacement fuses here. And that's the exhaust for your generator right there. Again, the side view cameras. Like I say, in 2021, they did a nice facelift on the front and rear caps and changed a few of the cosmetics inside. And let's go inside now and talk about those. Oh, while we're here, I forgot to point out the awnings. Now, when you get up to the luxury units, a lot of people go all out with the options. So you can have an option for 2 Girard awnings that cover the entire coach. This one only has the standard awning on it, and of course you get the awning over the door also. It's not quite as long, but by leaving some of these options out, you know, they saved a good deal of money. Doesn't have the outside TV. It's got the propane instead of the inductions, things like that. And all in all, if you like to dry camp a little bit, this is a great coach to do it in. Let's step inside here. Okay, nice and toasty. I wanted to leave the slides in to show you what it's like when you're traveling and to walk through it. And as you can see with this floor plan, it's easy for me to get through here. If you've got a big dog, they're not going to struggle. Like I said, the 4020 kind of flips the kitchen and the dinette. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And I can easily get all the way back to the bathroom. And this half bathroom, while you're traveling, you can get in it quite easily. If you see this door's hinged in the middle, it swings kind of differently. And I can step in without any problem. I'm going to just get out of the way and let Jody show you the bathroom. I don't really need to open all the drawers. You've seen them before, but you notice there's a lot of storage there. And up above by the medicine cabinet, there's a second storage cabinet. And with the vessel sink, it gives you a lot of room on that counter, or on that vanity. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to show you, that while you're going down the road, you can access your refrigerator without any problem. And as you can see, that opens all the way. A lot of people wonder with the slides in how tough it is. I'm going to let Jody just get back there and show you the bedroom and the bathroom. Obviously, if you want to crawl over the bed, you can get to the bathroom quite easily. You know, maybe in an emergency you want to go out that egress door back there. But when the slides are in, the bed and your dresser kind of touch each other. So I'm going to go ahead and run these out now. And on the driver's side here, we have a full wall slide. You can see as it's going out. And these have what they call more floor. If you look down there at the floor, that's tile throughout. It's not carpet. So this slide, it's a heavy-duty HWH. It rolls out there, and the rollers that are under it don't even touch the tile below it. Once it's all the way out, it takes a few seconds for that to drop down. And you end up with a completely flush floor with no carpet that you have to vacuum or shampoo. It's tile throughout. Okay, and on the other side, we've got the same setup as far as it's a more floor with tile in the slide out, the heavy-duty HWH mechanism. There we go. And I guess I'll go ahead and open the bedroom slide now and maybe walk through this floor plan from back to front. Now, one of the things I like about this floor plan also, I haven't talked about it much, but you probably notice there's 2 couches in there. Both couches make into sleepers. A lot of times in your higher end diesels, you usually get 1 pull-out bed, but not 2. These aren't designed for, you know, families of 6 and stuff like that. But it is nice to have the extra sleeping capacity. And you notice they didn't option in theater seating or the separate recliners. These are the 2 standard couches. Let me get this out from behind you there and show you we do have 1 ottoman. So for me, this floor plan works. Right there's our televator coming up. You know, you can sit here with your feet up and get quite comfortable, even though it's not a recliner. So kind of a different floor plan. And again, the things that they left out of this, I kind of think are good choices, depending on how you're going to use it. Let's go back into the bathroom here and show you what we've got. So, first of all, I had my ceiling lights dimmed a little bit. I'll get those on. As we step in the bathroom, you can see we've got the stackable washer and dryer. And I don't know if these have ever been used. This coach it's in incredible shape. Over on this side, we have a wardrobe, and might be hard to see, but I want to pull this compartment up and show you you've got some extra storage down there. Or maybe you have longer evening gowns or something that you want to hang up. Got a couple of full pull-out drawers here. All of them soft close, of course, and a storage compartment down there. 3 more drawers here on the side. Then you get a good area under your sink. 3 more over here. And a large medicine cabinet. I like the fact that they carpet these so things don't slide around as much. You can see you got a couple of 110 outlets there. Another nice change they made in 2021 on their countertops. These are Accordion style solid surface, but they put this contoured edge on here. And it really is the countertop and the backsplash. This is the Fulton decor. And it's got the glacier glazed maple, which is the lighter cabinets. But I just really like this color. I think it works very well. While we're here, I'll show you a little bit more storage. This is our egress door. And this is a one-way door. You can open it from the inside. And if you pull this compartment back, and it's just magnetic, you can see there is a ladder in there that pops down. So it makes it easy to get out if you have an emergency. And then something else that's unique, you've got a little bit of storage right here beside your toilet. I guess that's where your spare toilet paper is going to go. Nice walk-in shower with the teak seat. And again, because of the way they changed the design on this roof, give you that cathedral ceiling, you can see if you're 6'3" or 6'4", you've got room to get in here and take a shower. It also has the nice waterfall shower head. And this right here is our Aquamizer. What it is, it's, let's say I'm getting ready to take a shower and I'm waiting for the water to heat up. Well, I don't just want this water to come out and drain down into my holding tank. So I turn this valve. As the water is heating up, it's actually circulating right back into the fresh water tank. When the light turns red, I flip the valve, take my shower. Now it's going down into the gray tank. What you've done is you've saved fresh water and you haven't filled your gray tank by having this water miser. Great feature. Okay, as we move forward into the bedroom, can see on both sides of the bed, you have a pedestal with a 110 outlet there. You also have USB ports. And then up in here, you've got a full open compartment. If you notice, there's a plug up there. On both sides of the bed, there's a place you could drop down. Let's say you have a sleep apnea machine and you don't want to leave it on the pedestal. You can put it up here. And then you also have your controls for your reading lights, your ceiling lights, everything right here. If you get in bed and don't want to get up and turn them off, you can do it from right there. This is a king bed, and it does have storage underneath. You can see we've got a spare chair there for right down that table, a couple of leaves there. That table pulls out quite a ways. Across from the bed, we have our wardrobe cabinets, one on each side. And then we have 6 pull-out drawers here. Actually, one of them here is a video component center. So your DVD, satellite dishes, things like that can go in there. Then you have 3 other drawers. Nice TV. I think that's the 32-inch overhead. One of the things they did leave in, which is a good option, is the heated floors. And if you ever have to go out when it's, quite cold, well below freezing, and your coach has been sitting there with no heat in it, turn your floors on, turn your Oasis on, both diesel and electric elements. It doesn't take long to heat this up. Okay, as we move forward, let's get back into the kitchen area. We have a nice pantry here. Full pull-out drawers, 6 of them there. Now we have room. I'll open this up and give you a little better shot of what kind of storage the refrigerator and freezer have. We've looked in the half bathroom already. Okay, let's move up here to the living room. And this is what I like about the coach. Number one, your dinette is on your passenger side. Typically, when you pull up somewhere, that's where your view is. The door side is usually facing the lake or the mountain or, wherever you're going camping. So I like having the dinette over here. This one pulls out quite a ways, and you've got those 2 leaves in there, and there's actually a table leg that helps support it. So you see how much room you've got here if you have, 5 or 6 people in here for dinner or playing cards or something like that. Here's another unique feature of this coach, and I really like it. These are manual MCD shades. Typically, when you get to the Dutch Star level, people like the electric, and you've got a remote control for it. But one thing about these is they hardly ever break on you. It is so nice. If you have kids that are always going to be pulling on them, yeah, it could be some issues. But, I don't mind doing the manual shades at all. Okay, I told you that these 2 couches both turn into sleepers. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. Now, typically, when you think about a diesel motorhome, especially a higher end one, the saying is cocktails for 6, dinner for 4, sleeping for 2, because you don't want to make your guests too comfortable and have them want to go along with you every trip. But it is nice to have some larger sleeping areas for guests. So this first one here, you do have to remove the cushions and put them somewhere. And there's a release here. And this bed is one that you sleep what we call north-south. So you're going to sleep this way. And I believe this is a 74-inch. And just to give you an example, I'll go ahead and lay down here and show you how much room you have. Again, I'm about 5'8", 5'8 and a half. So plenty of room. for 2 adults here. And then if you have another guest, this one jackknifes. Another gun. There we go. And one of the unique things about this is you have room in between. You can see if they had a typical hide-a-bed that pulled out this way, you wouldn't be able to walk in between it. But this is big enough, certainly for a couple of kids. And again, I will show you how much room. If I had to sleep here diagonally, I could. So this is probably, you know, good for 1 adult or 2 kids or 2 people that maybe are a little bit shorter. But you've got room for 4 extra people. That goes back up very easily. There we go. So you see how fast and easy it is to convert that. There we go. And one more. Okay, and there's your extra sleeper. And like I say, don't make your guests too comfortable. You may regret that. All right, above the couch here, we've got some good storage. And these are very deep. You can see that a lot of the microwave components are up here. And this has got to be 18 to 20 inches deep, which is a lot of room. Over on the kitchen side here, got the storage cabinet overhead. We do have a little storage here with a pull-out. Now you could put maybe a small trash can there or cleaning supplies or something like that. You do have more access here. Now you see a couple of slots down there. Those would probably hold my sink covers if I'm going to be cooking a big meal. And as you can see, we've got a double stainless steel undermount sink here. One of the things you don't find too much anymore, and I told you that I really prefer, is we've got a sealed burner, 3-burner propane stove. And that large propane tank out there, that's all this is for, so you're never going to run out. If you look real close to your burners, they're pretty tight, so you don't have the food going down in there. Much easier to keep clean. And I think it's easier to control your heat with propane, much easier than on an electric or an induction style cooktop. 3 more pull-out drawers and all the remotes you'll ever need for the rest of your life. Again, these are all soft close. And this is a dishwasher. It is a 110. I don't have the generator or the inverter on right now, so you see it's not coming on. You do need a power to it to get it open. And then one more, be a good silverware tray or drawer here. Okay, across from the kitchen, we already looked at the dinette. Let me show you the storage up here. Oops,
Mark, you have another question you need to get upset.
Okay, go ahead.
How long does it take a first-time RV buyer to learn how to use their RV?
Well, that's a great question, and for those that didn't hear them, they asked, how long does it take a new buyer to really become comfortable and learn about the RV? And if you're quite mechanical, you might pick it up right away. Generally, by the time you've gone out, opened your slides, put your jacks down, turned your furnace on, just 1, 2, maybe 3 times, you know how to operate all of the systems. Many people, you know, are going to need some help. They get out on the road and maybe they can't get their Oasis on for some reason or another. We actually have a technical advisor here. His name's Bill, and he's a great source of information that can help walk you through things. But I would say the average person in 2 trips pretty much is going to have it down, because it forces you to use everything. When you're packing it, where to put things, you know, what you want to check. Make sure you've got propane filled if you're going to be out a long time. Your batteries are key. Don't let them run low. You've got an auto gen start that we can walk you through setting up. So if your batteries get down to, say, 12 volts, it'll fire up the generator automatically and charge those for you. So they're not as complicated as people make them out to be. Let me put it that way. But very good question. Okay, as we're moving back around, a couple more storage areas, and you can see this one on the right here is primarily for video components again. You do have a Bose sound bar. That is a 50-inch TV, I believe, and you also have the auxiliary TV up overhead. And, you know, since you asked that question, I'm going to go over a few things up here on the dash, and while I'm doing that, maybe it'll help if I just make this a little bit darker. So I'll drop my shade here. Now, you've heard us talk about Comfort Drive before. That's actually designed, if you start your engine, it's only going to drop so far so it doesn't block you out. I also, I believe it's back up there, have the day shades. Well, that came down about the same length. But these are the only 2 that are electric on the whole coach. The rest of them are manual. So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and fire this up and talk a little bit about your Comfort Drive. Now, the Comfort Drive is it's a computer-assisted steering mechanism that is always correcting for, let's say, a crown in the road or a crosswind or uneven tire pressure. And instead of your wheel being at an angle and you're kind of fighting it, it brings it back to center every time. And the nice thing about it is you're really only steering these in one direction. Oops. This one's a little cold. Normally that's going to return, and I need to get in here and adjust some things. So let me show you something on the dash here that I noticed. When I picked this up this morning to bring it over here, we've got some low tire indicators. But the funny thing was, it was the passenger side. These 2 were low. And you can see if you're at 73 pounds of pressure, it doesn't register at low. It's also given me the temperature, 32 here, 44 up front. Well, I realized that this was in the shade. This side was in the sun, and all of these were reading, you know, 73, 74 pounds. Since I brought it over, they've cooled down a little bit, and, you know, it's only 1 or 2 pounds low. If I was going out on a trip or a test drive, I'd take it over to the shop and fill it up. But I wanted to show you these, that you do have TPMS monitoring. It gives you your temperature, and it was just funny to see the yellow on this side of the coach in the morning, and now it's over here once I bring it over, and which side is facing the sun. So as we scroll through this, and you've got it right here on your fingertips, you can go down to your gauges, fuel economy. Right there's your tire pressure, your road watch. Now, what that is, on my cruise control, this is my adaptive cruise control. So this is how far out I am going to sense the car in front of me. If it's slowing down, I'm going to, you know, start to slow down myself. And I can change that setting to, you know, a closer distance, or I could shut it off altogether if I like. So as you're scrolling through here, let me see, there is another, let's go back, vehicle configuration. So here's the steering effort, and this is our Comfort Drive, and I'm actually going to turn it all the way down to 1. And when we do that, well, it turns somewhat easier. I probably need to drive it a little bit. But you see how that is attempting to come back. And well, I apologize, I didn't drive this a little bit and have it looser beforehand. But the whole idea of comfort steer is to correct for those imperfections in the road and tire pressure and things like that. Also, as we scroll through our gauges, and this is the kind of thing that'll take you a little while just sitting here and going through everything. Do I want to see what my fuel economy is? What's my distance to empty? I can go back and do my tires, my road watch, my diagnostics, and you know, this gives you all your, gives you, you know, your headlights are off, your service brake is on, park brake is on, steer axle. It just is the diagnostics of your chassis and everything. You can go into your transmission, system information. That just tells you what system we're working on. Radar alignment, our radar is aligned. This is for your collision avoidance and your adaptive cruise control and so forth. So basically, on the left hand, you're going to scroll through your windows and your diagnostics. Now, over here on the right, this is where I would pair in my phone, have my Bluetooth on. Actually, the cruise control you set and resume it right here also. But, you know, this controls Bluetooth things on the radio. This side, the left, controls the dash and your diagnostics and so forth. So we get over here, you know, let's get into our menu on the screen, and you can see we do have 3 different cameras. If I want to look down my right side or my left side, I can do it right there. Another thing I like, you've got the Rand McNally navigation. You can put in your RV info, how tall you are, and so much, and scroll through and, you know, where you're going. Got maps from all over the country. Let me see. Get back to my menu. Media center, your radio, everything. You do only have the 9-inch screen here. The new ones have a little bit bigger screen, but it's just, you know, getting to play with these a little bit, that you'll get yourself familiar when you're going down the road. You won't have to keep looking for it. And as long as we're talking about that, I want to show you over here on the passenger side, we also have our own monitor. So if well, let's get into navigation. Normally that's what, you know, your passenger is going to be doing. So you do have the Rand McNally navigation right here. Another nice feature for the passenger is there is a little work center. And also, let's see if I can get this turned around. I do have to get up. This passenger seat here, if you notice, is about 1.5 times the normal width. So, and as I spin around, I need to move it forward a little bit to clear that. There we go. Okay. Now, once we get here, you know, if you've got a group of people that you're camping with and it's raining out and everybody's cooped up inside, you've got, yeah. I'm getting a little pudgy. I'm going to move myself back here. There we go. Okay. You also have a footrest here. The passenger seat or the driver's seat, excuse me, spins around. So this basically becomes part of the living area while you're out there camping. And then when I'm done, find my button again. There we go. And then this tucks away quite easily right there. Okay, again, this is a 2021 Dutch Star 4020 model. Sorry for jumping around a little bit and not being as smooth as I could have been, but I think I've given you a good idea what this floor plan's about. Somebody maybe that's not going to just go to the RV park and plug in. This is a nice coach for that. Having that propane, makes it easier for cooking. Once again, thanks for tuning in, folks. Please contact us if you have any questions on this unit or any of our models. We are getting some more inventory now. 2023 looks like it's going to be a very good year. So once again, I'm Mark Love. You can contact me. My phone number is on the screen there, or feel free to email me. And drive careful when you're out there. Like always, happy trails, my friends. I'll see you next time.